I'm here today to discuss a post that I posted yesterday regarding intuitive eating. So I meant to go live on this earlier. It's been one of those crazy days. That happens to all of us. And so I'm here right now and we're going to discuss basically just that topic. Okay. So yesterday I posted essentially yes or no. Is the ultimate goal to be able to intuitively eat and still move towards and accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish? All right. And I think for most people in this group, I think that's usually a kind of like, well, yeah, duh. All right. But the reason why I bring that up is because for so many, I've been coaching almost 20 years. All right? I've worked with thousands of clients, and for so many years, and the common theme that I tend to see is just tell me what to eat. All right, just tell me the plan, tell me the secret, ingredient, tell me the secret plan, whatever that may be. Just tell me what to eat and I will eat it. All right. Now, if food was that simple, we would all essentially eat the same thing. Okay, if there was like one way to get to the top of the mountain or to the goal that you want to accomplish, we would all eat the same thing, right? Like if there was one right way to eat, we would all eat the same thing and we'd all follow the same diet. All right, but thankfully there isn't just one way. All right, there isn't just one way to get to your house. There isn't one way just to get from point A to point B. There's all kinds of different ways and directions to go. All right, but what happens, and I've done this myself as an athlete and then also as a coach, is we get married to like this one specific way of doing something, right? Like, for a lot of people, I've done macros. I did it for about 2 years. I worked with a coach. I was very inundated on that. I've done basically as a coach, I try to hold myself to the fire. I'm at least trying different elements of dietary practices that we discuss, so that way I know what it feels like, so that way I can give educated advice to everyone we work with. But at the same time frame of that, I have to understand that different things are going to work for me at different times of my life, right? Like if I was eating as much now that I was when I was in my like upper 20s, I wouldn't have the same results that I would be right now, because when I was in my upper 20s, I was training to try to compete in the CrossFit Games, and I was working out 3 to 4 hours a day, right? Like me now having 3 businesses, 2 kids, a wife, and all these other things to juggle, my extracurricular activity isn't nearly as high. And so me following this one blueprint that at one point yielded me, like 4% body fat and all this utmost of fitness, but my circumstances of life are completely different now. And so what we want to be able to kind of help guide and direct people as we're going through this journey is understanding that, yet again, there's not just one way to get to where you want to go, all right? But also understanding of where are you at in your life? What is going on in your life? How much stress are you under? How much sleep are you getting? How much does extracurricular activity come into your life? Do you have kids? Do you have extra jobs? Do you have, are you training for an event? What is the things in which you want to ultimately move yourself towards an experience? But also understanding that where are you in your life? Because yet again, where you are in your life, not just based off of what you do physically, but where are you at mentally, emotionally, and psychologically, and at the same time, where are you at on an age range? Because at certain things, you're going to respond differently to certain things. Okay, so it's when we get into intuitive eating, you guys, I think everyone's going to have their own interpretation of that. But I think it's important to understand that in order to eat intuitively, we have to have connection with ourselves. We have to understand ourselves. We have to have awareness around what works for us, what doesn't work for us, what has worked for us in the past, what may not work right now, what direction I want to go. All right? Because without knowing those things or even just asking those questions, there can't be any intuitive components behind it. And more importantly, there can't be any intention behind it. All right. Because that's the other part that we really try to help people do is, I don't care if it's your nutrition. I don't care if it's your exercise. I don't care if it's your relationships. I don't care if it's your job. If you can show up with intention and with the utmost being present and doing everything to the fullest of your ability in which that moment you can, you're going to see massive change under any circumstances. I don't care what you do. But it's when we get so locked down of like, just tell me what this is, right? Like I need a macro program that's going to tell me X, Y, Z. And I'm not going to say those are bad, right? Because yet again, I've worked with a coach. I've been a coach in this realm for a long time. And that helped me and gave me evidence and gave me information. But also, like I said, I followed a macro program for almost over 2 years that my initial numbers of my carbs, fats, and proteins were probably like 60% when I started from where they ended. Like I almost doubled up my macronutrient count from when my initial coach gave me to where I ended because of the processes and how my own internal environment takes on those things. And so if I just plug that into a macro calculator that I find on the internet, and just so you know, those things based off of like your thermal effect of food and your BMR and all those things, those are even the golden standard. I think it's like 68% accurate for that. And especially if you are a person who carries a large percentage of body fat, they're even significantly lower accurate for that. And so if you're just going off this number that you plug into a calculator on the internet, you're going to get all kinds of information that may or may not be right to you at all. And so if you're just going off of this thing and following it blindly and not being aware of, how do you respond? How does your body interact? Are you seeing the things in the changes you want? How's your sleep? How's your mood? All these things, right? Those are going to create intuitive relationships for you to be able to identify, is what you're doing getting you the results that you want to get, not just based off of the scale, not just based off of whether or not your clothes are fitting differently, but based off of, is your performance getting better? Are you sleeping better? Is your mood better? Are you experiencing better regulation in your system, right? Like there's a lot of different things that we try to look at that is going to promote long-term health, because I don't care who you are. If you don't have long-term health, to me, that's not sustainable. And the other part of that is, if it's not sustainable, there's no point in doing it. Because I would imagine for most of you guys that are out there, you don't want to look back at your life when you're 60, 70, 80 years old and be like, you know what? That one time that I followed that one program for 6 weeks, it got me down in the best shape of my life, and now I'm back here, right? And it's like, well, it's kind of like the same thing of like the best years of my life were in high school. That was 35 years ago. There's a lot of life you've lived since then. Hopefully we can find something else that's more inspiring, all right? And last thing on this, you guys, in order to create, I think, a real intuitive relationship when it comes to food, an intentional relationship, is asking ourselves, why do you eat food? And really, like, let that sit with you for a minute. Like, why do you eat food, right? Like, what is the role that is playing in your life? Why are you eating? If you're eating right now, why are you eating what you're eating right now, right? Is it for energy? Is it for happiness? Is it because you're hungry? Is it to get nutrients in your system? Is it because you're sad and it's there to lift you up, right? It's being honest of like, what are you doing and what is the reason behind it? Because oftentimes we do things because we're on autopilot. We do things because it's ingrained into us. I don't know. I just eat this thing because that's what I have for 5 seconds and that's what my go-to is. Okay, well, if we can identify that, then we can start to make change, because awareness precedes change. Okay, without awareness, you can't have change. Like, just by sheer definition, if you don't know what to change, you can't change it. All right. So while you're going through this process and while you're going through, looking through videos and all these kind of things on this, in this group, is really ask yourself first, why do you eat food? All right. And it's not just for energy, because yet again, I don't know most of you guys in this group now, but from my experience, 99.9% of you guys are underfed. And so if your response is, well, it's to get energy, then you wouldn't be eating 900 calories a day, all right? And it's not always about calories, but at the same time frame, you wouldn't be massively underfed if your number one reason was to get energy. I would imagine for most of you guys, because you're in this group, you're looking for physical change. And unfortunately, that usually accompanies the thought process of less is more. Less food I eat will equal more gains. It doesn't work that way, all right? So it's being able to really see and be aware of, yet again, why are you eating what you're eating? What roles does food play in your life, right? Like, if food is maybe for some of you guys, food might be the only resource that you have to get variety in your life, right? It might be the only resource that you have for some of you guys to have connection with your significant other. It might be the only resource for you to feel significant because you're the chef and you're the cook of your household. It might be your way of meeting connection by giving to others. It might be your way of meeting your need for growth by expanding your recipe book. It might be your need for certainty because you know you have a hot meal on your dinner table, right? And so it's being able to see like there's reasons for why you do what you do. But if we don't understand those things or even ask the question of what does this mean to me right now, yet again we're doomed to go back to our pre-programmed set, and until we have awareness, things don't change. Okay, so here to tell you, like all these things, it seems very complex. We dive into this thing as we go through our 12-week shift program, and we really allow you to really kind of peel back the layers of seeing like, oh, food isn't just food. Food can equal all kinds of things. Food can meet me in all kinds of things. Food can meet my needs in all kinds of things. But it can also allow me to move towards the goals in which I want to accomplish. And also the beautiful part that we've seen over and over and over again is the fact that you don't need to be married to a specific plan of following X amount of calories or X amount of macronutrients or X amount of things, and that you get to actually flow and fluctuate with life. You don't have to be structured and living in this box and still get the results that you want. And for me, that's what intuitive eating means to me, is being able to see, okay, am I hungry right now? Am I undernourished right now? Am I just depleted right now? Have I drank enough water? You know what? Our dog, we had to put our dog to sleep. You know what? I had to own the fact of like, I'm eating my emotions, but that was an intentional thought process behind it. It wasn't just letting life happen to me. So, that's my kind of discussion surrounding intuitive eating. You know what? If you are on here, you guys, and you really are wanting to let that be kind of the realm in which you want to go towards, of being able to feel like, you know what, I can be the director and I can be the creator of the nourishment that I put in my body, and I know that I can get the experience and the goals that I want. Let me know. I would love to have a discussion with you guys. If you got specific questions, you got your feedback on this, would also love to hear it. I think for all that we've seen, for those that have gone through our shift program, and hopefully for a lot of you guys that have been in this group and have seen a lot of our videos and a lot of our feedback, I promise you, food, it doesn't have to be complex. Food doesn't have to be this thing that is pushing you into the back corner and you don't feel like you have a choice in anything. Food can be the resource to experience all the things that you want to experience, and that also includes getting all the other elements of life at the same time. Okay, so appreciate you guys. Appreciate you being a part of this group. Like I said, if you got questions, would love to hear your feedback. Other than that, y'all, hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will check you later.